I'm gonna show you how you can tell if a property is gonna be a good rental property in 10 seconds or less. Come on. There's a lot of factors that go into making a property good for a rental or not good for a rental, but one of the key components is knowing if your rents are gonna be high enough to be able to cover all your mortgages, all your expenses, so then that you have cash flow left over after paying that all every month, because you don't want to be coming out of pocket to have to cover mortgage or expenses on a rental property. You want your tenants' rents to cover everything you have to pay all month, plus leave you a little bit extra. So I want to show you guys a quick tip that you can do to see if a property is going to be a property good enough that you should pursue right off the bat, or you can look at it in 10 seconds or less and say, you know what, I'm not going to pursue this property because I know it's not even going to be close to giving me the rents I need to be able to make this property a good rental. So what are we going to use? What is the method we're going to use to find this out? Well, it's a formula called the 1% rule, okay? 1% rule. And what the 1% rule means is this, okay? Your monthly rents, okay, your monthly rents need to be 1% of the purchase price of the property, okay? Purchase price. So, let's give an example. If we are buying a property for $100,000, what does that mean our monthly rents need to be to meet the 1% rule? Well, 1% of 100,000 is 1,000. This equals our monthly rents, all right? If we're buying a property for $100,000, then the rents need to at least be $1,000 a month when we do a quick analyzation of the property. Okay, now, just because it's 1%, just because rents are 1% of the purchase price doesn't mean it's gonna be a great deal. There's other factors that can affect if the 1% rule is a really good deal, or in other markets, the 1% rule may not be the greatest deal in the world, but you can at least look and say, okay, this property meets the 1% rule, so let me spend some more of my time, resources, energy to pursue it further. Or you can say, okay, it doesn't meet the 1% rule. I'm not gonna spend any more time on it because I know the 1% rule right now is, just at least gonna break even for us most likely, right? So if it doesn't even meet that, well, it may not make sense for you to pursue that property anymore. And instead, you can put your time and energy elsewhere. Now, some of you may be saying, well, houses in my area sell for $400,000, but the most you could get in rent is $2,500 a month. You know what that is? You know what that is? Not a good rental market. And my handwriting is awful. Not a good rental market. You don't live in a good rental market. If your houses are selling for a median average of $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 and rents are $200,000, $300,000 at most, that's not a good rental market. Could you potentially go in there and find a distressed home and flip it and make some money? Yeah, probably. Could you take advantage of that neighborhood? If hard economic times hit and people are over leveraged and now they're having to sell their home for, just to get out of it, or banks are taking over in foreclosures, yeah, maybe you can make it make sense then. But what you guys got to understand is not every market is a good rental market. There's just some that are not, and so you can't force it. Okay, there's parts, and you can look at each town, each market, and each segment of a market is going to have different pockets that are good for rentals and some that aren't. I live in a town in the southeast, and one side of town, there's no way you can make rentals work. I've tried, I've looked, and it just doesn't make sense because homes are too expensive, rents aren't high enough. But then if you go 15 minutes down the road, they do make sense. You can get homes for $125,000 that are renting for $1,500. And that beats the 1% rule, which tells me, hey, I really need to go after this because it's gonna be a pretty darn good deal. Even at the time of this video shooting, in high interest rate markets is gonna be a good deal. And just imagine what's gonna happen when we refinance down the road, bring those rates back down. Our cash flow is absolutely going to skyrocket. So again, just make sure you guys use this 1% rule when you are doing a quick analysis on properties or an area of properties to tell you, hey, I need to spend more time here, pursue this property, pursue this area more, or hey, you know what? This isn't gonna make sense. The numbers don't work out. That's okay. Let me go find another place to invest. If this video was helpful for you, it would mean so much to me if you would go and click the subscribe button down below so that I can notify you when I release new videos. We're putting out a lot of content regularly between tips like this and podcasts. I want to make sure you stay in the know so that you can get all of the best information coming from Team Finance Cowboy. I'll talk to you soon.